One more month, we'll see the update on my investment portfolio in Crowdlending. Here I am going to tell you on which platforms I am investing the most, what is the distribution of my investment portfolio in Crowdlending, and I am also going to tell you the returns I am obtaining on each of the platforms and the most important news from the last month. Before we start, I would like to invite you to the Telegram community where you can share experiences and opinions with other investors, and also to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss more interesting videos about investments. Now let's go for it. We start, as always, by looking at the distribution of my portfolio. The platform where I still have the most capital invested is Debitum, which currently accounts for 9.7% of my portfolio. The second position is occupied by VInvest with 9.2%. In September, I also deposited more money into the platform, strengthening my position. It is one of the platforms where I invest consistently every month because I never have problems with cash drag. The money is invested quickly and the return is stable. Very close is Peerberry, also with 9.2%. In September, I continued to deposit money, but in this case I had some cash drag, with funds sitting idle for several days. Even so, it is one of the platforms I want to keep strong in my portfolio because of its track record. Next is Income, where I also deposited more money in September because I want Income to reach at least 10% of my portfolio. Then we have Mintos, which represents 5.8%. Here I also deposited more money in September, both in loans and in ETF, although I don't count ETF in this Crowdlending portfolio. In RoboCash, I now have 5.6%. This month I deposited more money because I haven't had problems with cash drag, although I have noticed that interest rates have dropped slightly compared to previous months. Even so, it continues to be one of the solid platforms in my portfolio. Another one that takes up 5.6% is Ventus. In September, I took advantage of their cashback campaign and deposited more money to benefit from the bonuses. In Indemo, with 5.2%, I didn't deposit more this month, but it still holds significant weight in my portfolio. In October, I will deposit more capital to benefit from the new cashback campaign. With 5.1% is CrowdPair and below 5% Nectaro. Domoblock now represents 4.1%. Here I also deposited more money during September, participating in one of their new house flipping projects. In Esketit, I have 3.3%, but in September I suffered a lot of cash drag and that's why I decided to withdraw money. Even though it's still a good platform, it doesn't make sense to have money sitting idle without being invested. Another one with 3.3% of weight in my portfolio is Afranga. Here I did deposit more in September to take advantage of their cashback campaign on loans from the originator Lendivo, and I will continue to increase capital in Afranga now that it is a regulated platform. In Fintown I have 3.2% and Devon occupies 2.8% of my portfolio. With 2.4% is Astera, where I also invested more this month to benefit from their 4% cashback campaign that lasts until the end of October. In Bondora, I have 2.1%. Here I started investing actively again in September. I published a video on this channel about Bondora and the reasons why I returned to invest. In Rento occupies 2.0%. With 1.9% is Landa, another platform where I didn't deposit in September due to the lack of short-term projects, but it is still present in my portfolio. In Twino, I have 1.4%. I also didn't make new deposits here this month. With 1.0%, I have several platforms, among them Launch, where I did deposit more money in September to take advantage of the returns and campaigns they were offering. And now let's move on to see the returns I've obtained on each of these platforms. As always, I remind you that here we look at two metrics. Interest number one is the annualized return since I started investing on each platform, and interest number two refers to the annualized return taking into account only the last month. This may vary because the calculations were made on September 1st and 30, and on some platforms or loans the monthly payment cycle has not yet been completed. All this data is available on my website. I'll leave the link below so you can check it anytime. At the very top is Astera, where the accumulated return since the beginning is 49.65%. Obviously, this data is inflated by welcome cashbacks, which exceed 5%. If you want to start investing in Astera, take advantage of their welcome bonus, which is still active. Devon's return is 31.33%. Again, a large part of this return comes from cashback campaigns. As a new platform, it is common to see higher returns at the beginning. Last month, I published an analysis article on Devon on the blog. You'll find the link below in the description. In Ventus, I get 30.09%. Last month, I took advantage of the bonus campaign they launched to celebrate their birthday. Ventus is now 1 year old, and over the past year, they have advanced a lot both in the number of investors and in the energy projects they manage. You can see all the information on their website, where they provide information and updates regularly. And if you want to start investing in Ventus, right now they are offering a welcome bonus of 1% of what you invest during the first 60 days if you register via the link in the description. In Maclear and Nectaro, I also get high returns due largely to bonus campaigns. In Launch, the return is 16.71%. In September, I deposited more money here to benefit from their cashback campaign. Even so, in Launch, we have loans with high returns above 13% and short-term, between 30 and 181 days. And for new investors, they offer a 1% bonus during the first 90 days. To get it, you must register using the link in the description of this video. Debitum offers me 14.64%. As I said, it's the platform where I have the most weight and keep strengthening. Although the return of the loans and their duration varies, here most loans offer me 13%. And if you want to start investing in Debitum, right now they have a 1% bonus during the first 30 days for new investors. Afranga climbs in my return table to 14.27%. Usually in the first month after starting to invest in a platform, we don't see the real returns until the loans begin to be paid periodically. This month I took part in their Lendivo loan campaign at 13% with 1% cashback. And for new investors, this regulated platform has a welcome bonus of 0.5% of what is invested during the first 90 days. In income, I am getting 11.59% since the beginning and 13.80% in September. Here I am diversifying across all loan originators. And although at some very specific moments there has been some money not invested, it has not taken more than 1 day to be invested. This is normal and I don't consider it cash drag. So income will continue to grow in my portfolio. If you also want to start investing in income, right now they are offering a bonus of 1% of the average invested during the first month. Via Invest is one of the most solid and stable platforms. I am getting 11.23% and there is never cash drag. The money is always invested immediately. That's why I keep expanding every month, depositing more capital. Right now we have loans at 11% for 180 days and at 10% for 90-day loans. Via Invest also has a welcome bonus for new investors of 1% of what is invested during the first 90 days. You will get it by registering via the link in the description. A bit lower in the table, but with more than 10% we see Lande, with 10.75%. This is my favorite platform for investing in agricultural loans. Last month I didn't deposit more capital. Although quite a few projects came out, most of them are quite long-term, over 2 years. I have my auto-invest configured to invest in projects up to 18 months. And for longer-term projects, if I find them interesting, I invest manually. If you also want to try and invest in Lande, it is one of the platforms that has the highest welcome bonus for new investors. It's 3% of what is invested during the first 30 days, by registering via the link in the description. In Mintos, where I invest the most every month, I am getting almost 9%, 8.9%, taking into account the loans I have in recovery, which makes this return lower than what I get with new loans. In September, a small amount of recovery payments was returned. Right now, I am investing only in originators with more than 7 risk scoring points, and I am getting on these new investments an average interest rate of 10.75%. During October, Mintos offers a welcome bonus for new investors between 20 and 500 euros by investing a minimum of 1,500 euros if you register via the link, only until October 31st. Let's look at some of the platforms that appear lower in the table, not because they don't offer high returns, but because they are real estate platforms that pay interest at the end of projects. In Domoblock, last month I invested in 2 new projects they launched, and in these first days of October, they will repay a project that ended in 8.5 months with an annualized return of 13.58%. And they have already announced that they will launch a new project to invest in on October 16th. If you also want to start investing in Domoblock, they have a welcome bonus of €50 if you register via the link in the description and invest at least €500. In Indemo, same as Domoblock, interest is paid at closing when the discounted debts are sold. Last month, one of the properties was reimbursed, with a return between 15% and 18% in my Indemo portfolio. And in October, they have a new cashback campaign for all investors, with which we can get between 1.5% and 4% instant cashback, depending on the amount invested. And for new investors, if you register via the link in the description, you will get an extra 0.5%. And I would like to talk about BD Capital, because it is a relatively new platform in my investment portfolio. In September, there were no movements, no new projects, but I would like to mention it because I find it an interesting real estate investment platform, in which I will continue investing in future projects. Although here we will not see many opportunities, it is worth keeping an eye when they release a new project. And for new investors, they also have bonuses between 25 and €75 depending on the amount of the first investment. In the past month on this channel, we've seen that I'm investing again in Bondora. In this video, you can learn more about the platform and the reasons why I decided to invest again. And we've seen the latest investment news in Crowdlending. Now it's your turn. Tell me your opinion in the comments below, and if you have any doubts or questions, leave them below too. You know that I respond to all your comments. Before you go, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up as it makes me happy and helps the channel grow. And I would like to invite you to the Telegram community where you can share experiences and opinions with other investors and also subscribe to this channel so you don't miss more interesting videos about investments. See you very soon.